How's it going, crypto community? Jade back with another XRP related news article. In this one, we're going to talk about India boycotting the G20's Osaka track. And it's not just India, apparently. It's South America and Indonesia also joining this group of nations who have declared that the Osaka track would undermine the World Trade Organization's principles for arriving at consensus-based decisions. Japan, on the other hand, has attempted to legitimize the informal plurilateral negotiations on digital trade that were never approved at the World Trade Organization. Sorry, plurilateral. That's an interesting term. At any rate, from Geneva, India, South Africa, and Indonesia have boycotted the Osaka track on the digital economy at the G20 Leaders Summit in Osaka on Saturday, as it overtly undermined multilateral principles of consensus-based decision in the global trade negotiation and denied policy space for digital industrialization in developing countries, so says analysts. Now, Japan, which hosted the G20 summit in Osaka on the 29th of June, attempted behind the scenes to legitimize the informal plurilateral, two or more countries, negotiations on digital trade that were never approved at the World Trade Organization. Tokyo circulated a take it or leave it text on digital trade to all the G20 countries on the 26th of June, seeking approval of the Osaka track for promoting plurilateral negotiations among 50 countries. The EU, which represents 28 countries, is taken into account as one. And so, along with the United States, the European Union, Australia, and Singapore, among others, Japan pushed hard for the plurilateral negotiations on digital trade with the avowed intention of crafting sweeping rules on data flow, removal of prohibitions on data localization, and cloud computing, among others. Much of the proposed plurilateral rules on digital trade are based on the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreements for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP. Holy crap, are the acronyms for these trade agreements starting to get a little out of hand. But yeah, so the idea is that, these three nations, a part of the G20, have decided that due to the Osaka track, which is to promote the digital economy, which, to be 100% clear, digital economy and digital trade is referring to the transfer of blockchain assets, the transfer of non-national currencies to facilitate trade. That's what the digital economy is. There's so many people out there that still think that this is some conspiracy that I'm saying digital economy is referring to blockchain. No, it's like if you read anything on the digital economy out there, like you actually go and Google digital economy, and then you start listening to what these financial industries are talking about when they're referring to the digital economy, it's really clear they're talking about blockchain techs, about cryptocurrencies. So if there's a lot of people out there that will tell you that, oh no, it doesn't mean that. No, it absolutely does. Like, you're listening to me read to you about the digital economy and about three countries that aren't going to be on it. And I know that everybody out there hears blockchain every other sentence that I say because of what they're addressing here, right? Now, to get back to the article, I'm going to actually skip the bulk of it here and go down to the last paragraph in it. And that's where we go over the fact that India, second to last, India, South Africa also insisted on putting their language on the critical role played by effective use of data as well as enablers of economic growth, development, and social well-being. The G20 leaders also reaffirmed the importance of the 1998 Work Program on Electronic Commerce at the World Trade Organization, and it is insisted by India, South Africa, and China, among others. The World Trade Organization reforms India and South Africa demand that reforms must be in accordance with the core World Trade Organization principles of consensus-based decision-making, multilateral agreed rules, and an impartial and independent functioning of the dispute settlement body. And this quoting, "We affirm our support for the necessary reform of the World Trade Organization to improve its functions," this said by the G20's leaders' declaration. So the idea is that even these groups don't outright, they aren't objecting to the Osaka track as much as they are objecting to the fact that the Osaka track and the the regulations laid out by the World Trade Organization, now they don't sync up. So now these groups all have to get together and talk about reforming, restructuring the World Trade Organization, right? They're not talking about getting rid of the Osaka track, saying, "Oh no, we gotta just pitch it. It's useless, can't be used." No, they're saying, "No, we need to go and legitimize our other legislative bodies, our other regulatory bodies, supranational regulatory bodies like the World Trade Organization. We gotta go make sure everything's good, locked away, squared away. All of our T's are crossed, our statements are dotted. Got to go and make sure everything's gonna fit in line with the new Osaka track. Make sure this digital economy is not going to be disrupted by the World Trade Organization having outdated policies that are built, again, for a world of 1998, back when there was just electronic commerce, not digital economy, electronic commerce." Okay, I'm done trying to drive home that narrative to some people, because I think most of you understand in the XRP community that digital economy is digital assets, and that India and South Africa and Indonesia's boycotting of the Osaka track is not truly a boycott of the Osaka track, as much as it is them saying that for the Osaka track to be legitimized, the nations of the world, the relevant parties of the world, must come together to reform the World Trade Organization around regulations which would be synergistic with the Osaka track, right? So, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this look at what happened over the weekend for XRP and crypto news. As always, I've been Jade. You've been watching The Martian Report, and if you enjoyed this content, I really hope you'll hit that like. If you're new, hit that subscribe and ring that bell so that you can tune in next time and join me and all the rest of the XRP Martians on Mars.